US President Donald Trump is in campaign mode, visiting Iowa to promote economic wins ahead of the midterms. This is the president's first campaign-style trip of the year. He stopped off at a local restaurant and met with diners before delivering his speech at a rally, insisting he's making refunds great again.
Thanks to our tax cuts, millions of Americans will soon receive record-setting tax refunds, an average of more than $1,000. Think of that, $1,000 compared to last year, $1,000 just in what you're going to save with some of the tax cuts.
We know no one campaigns like Donald Trump. He's brilliant on the road, connecting with voters and energising his base. And today he was back on stage dancing. But right now he's trying to sell his message that prices are coming down, that economic growth is accelerating and that real wages are up. It's going to be a hard sell. A recent poll in the Wall Street Journal from earlier this month found that nearly 60% of Americans have a negative view of the economy. However, the poll found that more Americans trust congressional Republicans over the Democrats to handle the economy. So today it marks the start of what's likely going to be a massive year of campaigning. And even though Donald Trump's name won't be on the ballot, he is expected to be out on the campaign trail a lot on behalf of Republicans running in the midterms. And it's going to be a challenge for Republicans. As MAGA voters, they don't always head out to the polls when Trump's name is not on the ballot, and history shows that the party of the incumbent president tends to lose ground during the midterms. But of course, a lot can happen between now and November. Currently, the political climate, it could not be more intense, with the chaos just spiralling out of control in Minnesota. Here are protesters today marching outside Tim Walz's office, demanding an end to ICE operations.
Now! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? ICE now! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? ICE now! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? ICE now! When do we want it? Now!
And this year we have seen confrontation with ICE agents really ramp up. And in many cases, protesters have been targeting agents, disrupting law enforcement operations. There are reports that these protests are not organic. They may be driven by outside actors exploiting chaos. The CEO of Crowds on Demand, Adam Swart, told Fox News Digital that he believes many of the most aggressive and unlawful actors targeting ICE are not organic protesters, but are being financed by shadowy interests that benefit from chaos and confrontation. Vice President J.D. Vance said recently that this level of engineered chaos is unique to Minneapolis. It is the direct consequence of far-left agitators working with local authorities. And this is Donald Trump speaking about the chaos.
Is this a pullback?
I don't think it's a pullback. It's a little bit of a change. Everybody in this room that has a business, you make little changes. Bovino's very good, but he's a pretty out there kind of a guy. And in some cases, that's good. Maybe it wasn't good here. But you have to understand, when I watch some of the people that I've been watching over the last few weeks, these are paid insurrectionists. These are paid agitators. These people aren't normal, like, that, they're incensed about anything. How do you get incensed when you go into a state and you're taking criminals out? You're taking monsters out, murderers. We had 11,888 murderers let into our country by other countries, by Biden with his open border stupid policy. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
We're also seeing people encouraging others to harm ICE agents, plenty of it on social media. Here's one woman, a healthcare worker, posting a series of videos encouraging women to go on dates with agents and drug them.
Are the single ladies where these ICE guys are going have a chance to do something, not without risk, but could help the cause for sure? Get on Tinder, get on Hinge, find these guys. They're around. They're an ICE agent, bring some X-Lax and put it in their drinks. Get them sick. Nobody's gonna die. Just enough to incapacitate them, get them off the street for the next day. Highly easily deniable. You could get sick too. Won't eat there again. I'm just saying, let's get them where they eat.
It is pretty sick stuff. We see it so often on the left. We saw people celebrating Charlie Kirk's murder, people publicly encouraging others to harm ICE officers. Pretty sick. Port Azar, Tom Homan has now been deployed to the state to oversee enforcement operations and assess the unrest. And Donald Trump today signalling that they will be reducing the number of federal immigration agents in Minneapolis.
You know, Minnesota's in the news a lot, but what they don't say is that Minnesota has low numbers because of the fact that we took thousands of hardened criminals out of Minnesota. So they had good crime numbers, believe it or not. And that's all working out. You know, we have Tom Homan there now. We put him in there. He's great. And they met with the governor, the mayor, everybody else, and we're going to de-escalate a little bit.